Hi everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? Alright my friends, today's video, in my opinion, is going to be very important. We're going to go over several things that are unfolding right now that really have to be discussed and an action really should be taken. Let's start here. We understand that for the first time in President Obama's tenure as President of the United States, he is meeting with the government of Israel. We also understand that last week he came out publicly stating that he believes Iran is less than a year away from attaining a nuclear weapon. He's also made it clear that the world will not tolerate this. So what is he saying? It's pretty clear. The drums of war are getting louder and louder. In my book, The Politics of Money, I outline specifically why Iran has a target painted on it. Before I get there, let's back up just a little bit. Why did we fight the Iraq war? Okay, we were told and sold that there was undeniable proof that he had weapons of mass destruction, and they knew where they were. Donald Rumsfeld came out with some twisted, idiotic comments on several occasions. They're over here, they're over there. We know people who know where they are. Don't you remember all that? Well, let's talk about that. The real reason why we went into Iraq was to defend the petro-dollar. People, I am urging all of you right now, if you do not know what the petro-dollar is, close out of this video, go to Wiki, and find out what the petro-dollar is, or Google it, whatever. Read about it and then come back to this video. Now, if you're already aware of what the petro-dollar is, or maybe you have my book, The Politics of Money, because I outline it at length there, you'll understand where things are going and why they are going that way. Saddam Hussein wanted to price his oil, or the oil of Iraq, in euros, get away from the US dollar, thus violating his petro-dollar accord. Well, again, we were sold this war on the premise of weapons of mass destruction. The architects of that death was George Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, and Condoleezza Rice. These individuals directly cause genocide. Tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands, people were slaughtered under their watch. And again, we know now that there were no weapons of mass destruction. Saddam Hussein never once threatened an American citizen. He never once threatened America. He had nothing to do with 9/11, and he said time and time again that he had no weapons of mass destruction. Meanwhile, they pushed it down our throats with yellow cake and the hiding of weapons under the water and everything else. And it was possibly one of the biggest lies ever sold to the people of the United States and the world. Again, it was solely about defending the petrodollar. Saddam Hussein wanted to get away from the US dollar and price his oil in euros. What's up with Libya? Libya, also another OPEC nation, just like Iraq. Gaddafi wanted to price his oil in gold. As a matter of fact, he wanted to start a gold standard and thus violate his petrodollar accord. Well, we know how that turned out. Iran is also an OPEC nation who is now in complete violation of their petrodollar accord. They are not using the dollar in their trade. People, there are 12 OPEC nations. Kuwait, Libya, Iraq are 3 OPEC nations already under direct military control of the United States. That's 25% of the OPEC nations. Iran is going to be next. They've had a target on them for a long time. They've known this, and they've been preparing for war for quite a while. People, look at what's going on here. It's almost the same premise. We're being sold this war Again, weapons of mass destruction, a nuclear weapon or a nuclear Iran. Are they pursuing a nuclear weapon? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. What nation is the only one in the history of the world to ever use a nuclear weapon? It's the United States. We used 2 of them. We dropped one on Hiroshima and the other one on Nagasaki during World War II. People, the United States has been in sustained combat for decades. As a matter of fact, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the Iraq War. Again, the architects, I'm going to go over it one more time: George Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, and Condoleezza Rice are directly guilty for the murder of probably some of your loved ones, members of the United States military, militaries around the world, the coalition that was put together, not to mention the possibly hundreds of thousands of children and innocents who were also murdered. Mass death. Mass death is coming again. Again, Iran has a target on it. If you're a member of the United States military, or you have a son or daughter in the United States military, I would start to say my goodbyes. There is no doubt that we will be at war with Iran very, very soon. And your sons, your daughters, maybe even yourself, is going to be forced to defend the petrodollar. It's always about the petrodollar. It's just so important to understand that. People, I want you to understand that I'm talking to all of you members of the military, or moms or dads who have a son or daughter in the military, as a brother in arms. I served as an officer in the United States Navy. I'm going to show you, just to prove it to you. This is a copy of my commission in the United States Navy. I was commissioned in 1998. I served honorably until 2006. This is a copy of my honorable discharge. So I just thought it was important for you to understand that. People, I love my country, but this is not our country anymore. It has been taken over. It is now the United States of corporate America, and it plays right into the petrodollar. And they will defend this with ferocity. They're going to take us to World War III to defend the petrodollar. China is already building the largest oil refinery in the world with the Saudis. It's slated to come online in 2014. Do a little research. This is a direct threat to the petrodollar as well. Where do you think this is going to go? Let's switch gears here and let's talk about what's going on here over in Europe. This island nation of Cyprus, in my opinion, is the spark that has now lit the fuse, which is going to accelerate into a financial disaster. Why am I saying that? Understand, the entire financial system is built upon faith and trust, the full faith and credit of the nation that is spewing out fake money. Understand that. The people of Cyprus now are being held hostage. Their cash is being held hostage in these banks. There's a sustained bank holiday coming on. There is talk of capital controls. We've never seen anything like this, where depositors are going to be forced in one way or the other to bail out a failing financial system. Let me ask you, if you are an individual holding euros right now, do you feel safe? If I were you, I would be, while you still can, taking whatever I could out of these bankrupt financial institutions. They're all insolvent. They're all afraid of bank runs. That's why they're having these bank holidays in Cyprus. People take their money out, it's done. The European Union is already saying they're not going to assist Cyprus if they decide not to do some type of a bailout. It's not going to end good for these people. This is shaking the faith and trust of the entire Eurozone. People understand, in the United States, the situation is much more grave than that. And I've urged all of you out there countless times to get your cash out of these institutions and become your own central bank. People, I want all of you to understand this concept and really think about it. We will all lose. We will all lose if we decide to continue to play their game. Please get out of their game. Do it today. Right now, when you finish watching this video, start withdrawing your cash, no matter what central bank of the world is feeding your account, okay, with their debt, with their fiat system. Become your own central bank, acquire gold and acquire silver. These things are going much, much, much higher as we move forward here. Again, the video I did yesterday, I went over specifically why with the chart. Please watch yesterday's video if you haven't seen it. It's very important to understand that. People, so two things are going on now. The drums of war are getting louder. There's no doubt we will be at war with Iran very, very soon. World War III is coming. The financial system is crumbling right before our eyes. Does this look good for you? Does it look good for anyone? I'm urging all of you now to please take action. I'm also going to ask a favor from you, just like I did yesterday. If you think this video is important, please give it a thumbs up and please share this. We can make a difference, people. We really can. We just have to do something. And maybe it just starts here with letting people understand what's really going on. Understand the petrodollar system. Understand this fake financial system that's been forced upon us all. We got to stop playing their game. We have to stop playing their game now, today. Do something about it, please, before it's too late. It probably already is too late, but maybe we can lessen the pain. Maybe. I'll see you tomorrow.